So with this, you should be able to see me in there. So red, orange, and yellow guy. Yeah, should be lots of oohs and ahs, right? Perfect. So that means I'm the hottest thing inside the frame. Sorry, fellas, but that's kind of how this is going to work tonight. Yeah, I got jokes too. We're going to keep it nice and light. But we're looking for those cold spots. We want them to be blue or black. We're always going to have blue or black in the frame because windshields, aluminum cans on the ground, signs are always going to be colder than a human. The reason why I make that joke is because we are literally the warmest thing out here right now. We're 98 degrees, right? So we want those blue and black areas to either take shape or to start moving on their own. That's what we've caught with this guy in the past. That's hopefully what we're going to capture with it again. The fun part about this, they always like to play tricks on me with the Chevy Chase up there in the window. So I don't know who's in the back office up there, but anyway, so when I say the moving shape, head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. So that's what I want. I always love to give you guys stats about the devices I'm about to hand over to you because I'm not a TV show host and I'm not a YouTuber. I capture 45 pieces per year on this guy that I would put my stamp of approval on and dozens of others that I would question. Now, that's 45% per year, not per episode. Remember, I'm not a TV show host. If we're not recording, we're not going to capture. So that's the reason why we will, with the cameras we're going to be using, we're going to be recording for the entire duration that we are in that particular space. Not like we thought we saw something, hit the record button. I'll kind of give you guys a heads up on how we're going to be with the recordings, so to speak. So with this one, I'm going to hand this one off to this particular location, and then we're going to spread out. And then that's when you're going to be unmuted on your spirit box listening in. So again, this location, every location we go to is going to be a little bit different than the next one. This is one where you guys get to spread out and work with your...
Oh, good. I can see Keaton Cool signatures from a while. Shut the fuck up.
So great. She can't spell the best. I love it. She's like, wow.
This shit is weird. What's up with you? What? What is it? What do you say?
You're just teaching me what to do. I'm getting like a bunch of the same things, like.
Yeah, like, what do you say though?
MZ. I need ELP for her initials.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
What? Wait. What is that? Spread out.
No, girl, your mom and you are together, so
Spread out.
shut the fuck up. Elizabeth, look, this thing can capture from far away. We're fine.
You just don't want to talk to me a lot.
Yeah, shut the fuck. You just don't want to be alone.
It's like a Persian cat.
It's waiting for something interesting to happen.
What do we got coming out of there? Anything?
Nothing other than just like nothing distinct.
Okay, so nothing you can make out. So even if it's you think it's a radio DJ, I still want to know what it is.
I did hear 10,
Okay.
and that's really the only thing
You can probably almost take that as an interpretation of like she doesn't want us here, like end it now.
that's what I was thinking.
But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna at least give her at least a couple of rounds so she can see, hey, we're all friendly here. And again, I'm the familiar face. So with the two cameras that we're using tonight, they're both small screens. I send both videos to YouTube, so if I'm not following up with the two gents. And I unintentionally did that. Like I was like, oh crap, it's the only two guys and they got both cameras. But again, if I'm not following up with you guys as much, the reason for it is because they're small. I'm gonna watch them on a computer screen, and you guys are gonna watch them on your TV. So it's usually with your cameras, it's usually the day after when we find the kind of evidence out of it. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of how this one goes. Let me just make sure your screen's on record. Perfect, you got it.
Did
Oh,
you see that?
it landed.
It landed straight up.
You got new shit?
Joxy.
This bitch do not want to hear. This bitch do not want to hear.
No, stop. Don't disrespect her.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
You're gonna be the reason no one gets anything.
Hey, come to this dark corner with me. Anything? This shit's boring as fuck.
No, stop. I'm gonna turn around and say, no, stop.
I'm trying to get some ass. I
No,
hope someone
this is
plays
why
up.
we're not getting anything, because you're being disrespectful and rude. Like, stop. So disrespectful that everyone around you is exhausting.
Anything? Why'd you look at me like that?
Girlfriend, ooh.
Aren't you supposed to ask it a question first?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got LNP.
What?
But it's not in order. Does it have to be in order, you said?
I think so.
Anything crazy, you two?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm. Just black spots in the ground from, I guess, rainwater.
Yeah. It's gonna be colder than obviously the mud. Hey, he does speak. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because he hasn't
He has
said
to try
anything.
really hard to do it, apparently.
Alright.
So you gotta reset. 'Cause I'm not seeing anything in there, so. No. And you're gonna be doing that all night long, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, probably dozens of times. But yeah, you're getting the gist of how that guy works because the colder spots are going to be darker.
Yeah.
But this ground is a little bit of a problem just because it does have mud, gravel, water, different types of material, all going to be different temperatures. But when I'm watching this part of the video, I'm normally paying attention to whatever's going across the wall. So if we have a blue anomaly going over the wall, because the wall is going to hang on to the heat from the day's sun, no matter what time of year it is. It could be wintertime, and that wall is always going to be orange and yellow. But thermodynamics is a very touchy kind of subject. So the less you actually move around, like the slower you move, the easier it's going to be to find something. But you're getting the gist, like, hey, we got some, black spots on the ground. It's water. It's obvious. So, but he didn't make the joke that you were the hottest thing inside the frame, or that somebody else had a cold heart, because those are usually the two jokes I hear.
Didn't make that joke.
You're the hottest in a frame. Oh my god, I thought he was saying that to you, bro. My house was about to be. I hope you can't hear me through this recording. You can? Hey, bud. Oh my god, something just went over there.
No. Really?
Got you.
We got an N and an I. Mid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. That hurt?
Yeah.
And this went off twice quick. Oh shit. Uh-oh, you getting possessed. Well, 5.0, yeah, I know. Shut up, bitch. What is that?
That's a person.
No.
Oh shit.
Can't tell if that's anything or not.
That's good.
No, I'm too shy.
Anna, you got anything going on?
How do I turn it back on? One step.
Let's make a sex tape behind the dumpster in this thing. Oh my god, I forgot I have audio. Fuck. Huh?
I got myths.
Myths is spelled with a Y, dummy.
Huh?
I cannot with my dumb blonde girlfriend.
Sorry, just seemed that it was a full circle still. So Doc moves down here to Charleston to prove that he's not after Amanda's money. He's going to start his medical practice down here, and he's going to be good to go, make his own cash. So on his way into town, he had a coachman. The coachman that he had set him up to be robbed and killed. It's like a really bad start to his, stay here in Charleston. It's like having a bad Uber driver in today's world. But anyway, some somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen to the newcomer. The person walking by was named Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar? So RI. So just like the doctors of Rhode Island. So we were getting the letters RI on a device like Carly or Jessica, so I bought that device to kind of verify it. We've had it about 7 or 8 times in the past year that I've had that whenever I bring up Ralph's name. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me. We're going to go to 59 Church Street where you can rent a room from these friends of mine and you'll be safe and good to go. Well, Doc took him up on the offer and the two gentlemen became friends. The longer the doctor stays here in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He's making his own. Well, Amanda got wind of this up in Rhode Island and she's moving down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the story. Every haunted city you will ever visit in any haunted city is going to have a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. Ours just happens to be a doctor. So why are we in Dueler's Alley talking about this whistling doctor? Here's how this part goes. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So one night they go see Richard III and they're walking home and they're arguing over the new actress that they just saw. Doc thought she was great, Ralph didn't. Ralph is then insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island, and it got really ugly between the two guys and they go their separate ways. But Ralph goes to his friends at the newspaper and places an ad telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of bullshit. Well, Doc saw that ad and rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this and somebody's going to die. I want you to keep in mind that this whole argument started over an actress. Kind of dumb stuff back in the 1700s. So anyway, the two gents come down here back to back, took their 10 paces, they turn. Doc points his gun in the air and shoots. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted the courage and bravery to show up to the fight, which is often what happens at a duel. But Ralph has his one bullet still. He puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die, he fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786 after refusing medical treatment. Two things about that last statement. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds back then are a lot different than what we know of them now. Secondly, he is a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but obviously he failed. And every ghost story that comes down here tells their guests to listen for the whistles. We have 2 cameras and my voice recorder running. If we're going to get a disembodied whistle, more than likely it's going to show up on one of those 3 devices. However, on the regular spirit boxes like what they're using, we have had the whistling part of the song and the word doctor show up from a commercial immediately afterwards. So it's kind of like a doctor, we get it all the time. I don't look for these things, they just happen. So when I spot check your guys' recordings, it's every 5 minutes. So minute 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, you see the pattern. I'm not looking for anything. Whatever happens within that 1 minute is what I put in your notes. So you guys are seeing the point. However, if you're going to try this on your own, I don't know how long everybody's going to be here in town, and you're going to walk all the way through this alley looking for those whistles without me, because I can't take you all the way through. Use the voice recorders on your phone, but remember that every local knows this story. Anybody walking up and down Queen Street or Cumberland Street, we all throw a whistle down this alley. It's just something we do here. So I know it's kind of funny, and you're like, wow, that's really weird, but this is that common of a story. So here's how I got booted out of here. Here's the fun part. Because I've actually been kicked out of here. That's why I can't take you all the way through. The alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there. The reason why is because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So cows, goats, and chickens were down here. This used to be called Cow Alley. This is before Dueler's Alley. So those bricks down on the other side are older than the bricks you're standing on right now, because they started there and worked their way this way. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child down at the end of one of those bricks, and fingerprint swipes in others. I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson. There's nothing paranormal about that brick with the handprints in it. I already told you how I feel about tombstones and going through cemeteries. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. November 26, 2020. Took my entire group of 10 down there to go show them the handprint, and they all stopped, and they huddled around that brick, waiting for something to happen. They know nothing's going to happen. Shoo them along, like, let's get moving, because we're also standing outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful, not realizing we were actually out of bounds for tours that time of night. So, the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was hysterical. She was on the tour that night. She's about 13, 14 years old, and her dad's getting yelled at. She was all about it. She thought it was great. So we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on holidays, especially Thanksgiving, because I was in upper management for Walmart before I started doing this. So you guys like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving, and I will never work another Thanksgiving in the rest of my life. You guys scarred me. So the next day was the 28th of November. I got a hold of my partner that I had at the time. I told him what happened. trying to figure out what to do next, and he laughed at me like my daughter did. He said, dude, you're only allowed to go down halfway. Otherwise, it's residential. Reroute your group. So I was kind of like, well, I'm sold out again. It's Black Friday. So I told my group, I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen over there. I'm into vampires, not pirates. Normally I would tell you a pirate story next, but we've been kicked out of that spot too. But before we left the space, somebody with a spirit box told me that they heard the name Anne, and I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. It's kind of like, oh shit, maybe we're going to get something. I took them up around the corner, told them what I did know about piracy. Somebody else with a spirit box heard the number 300. Didn't know what it meant. Wrote it down, did the research. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was on November 28th of 1720. The exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So I usually get those kind of like, oh wow, that's pretty cool stuff. I was pissed off because I have a master's degree in creative writing. All of my degrees are in writing. I need like solid research to be able to provide what we're doing out here. Pirate stories are written from pirate lore. That's a problem. It was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. I had to read more books on pirates to be able to verify what you guys were finding day after day. However, now we've been kicked out of there. So what we're going to be doing next, we're going to be taking Reed's camera and we're going to be shoving it into the gates of a cemetery in hopes of looking for an apparition. While I'm swapping out his light and battery, because he's probably about halfway through it already, if not almost all the way dead. I always bring extra lights and batteries for that new camera, just because I don't know how long it's going to last. But I want to make sure like what we can do is going to be full. Jessica, have you heard anything while you've been listening? What'd you get?
So I got TV, free glass, free car insurance, worry, crazy boy. I want to say it sounded like Arizona.
You had Arizona
I
earlier.
had Arizona.
And I swear it sounded like it said Reed.
So that can work in one of two ways. So that means that somebody you guys brought with you is mentioning him, or I was just telling them that I would normally tell you a pirate story over here when we go up and around the corner, but I've been kicked out of that spot. Now the Anne Bonny that I mentioned, her lover was named Mary Reed. So I'm not surprised that you had that over here because we're still getting bleed over from her, even though I'm not investigating that particular space. It's still in proximity, but it could be something going on with him. So we don't know yet until we have some more secondary clues. And of course, I don't know how much Carly's listening to, her spirit box right now, or what she's missed out on in real time. So hopefully we get a secondary clue to kind of verify whether it's dealing with him, whether it's like somebody you guys brought with you, or if it's going to deal with our friend Anne Bonny and her lover Mary Reed. So again, it's an interesting piece. We used to get the word Reed here all the time, but again, we never had anybody named Reed here at the same time. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Words, where are we at with that?
I just got talking. I got the name Veronica.
I got author David.
I got full view, brain, mood, concentrate, survive, failure, the F word.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only seen that show up on there one other time. I'm just going to put this out here. I had a whole group of seniors. So imagine the person that I handed that to, and we're talking everybody was like over 65. So I handed over, and one of the first things it pops up with was the F-bomb. I'm like, are you kidding right now? Like, so I had to make sure like I took that out, and she's like, I can't believe. I'm like, look, I didn't put it up there.
No,
Like, so it is what it is. Do we have anything coming out of
but
yours?
it's not just like F word. It's fucking.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of Q's and G's.
Q's and G's. I got nothing on Q and G. Wow. Did you see anything crazy out of your camp? Okay. So when we get up around the corner, I'll swap out Reed's battery and light. I'll tell you what goes on at that particular cemetery. We'll get about 5 to 7 minutes worth of footage. I'm going to want both cameras up there because this helps me learn about how that camera works. So if we're capturing something legit on his camera, I want to know what your camera did in retrospect. All the spirit boxes will be listening in once we get up and around that cemetery, so we can kind of see what's going on. But as we're going up around the corner, definitely listen. But when we stop on the ledge, so I can seat everybody down and change out his light and camera, I'll have you go to mute so I can tell everybody what goes on at that place, and then we'll get you unmuted again. So Jane, we have seen some weird little anomalies happen over there. So like we had a 9 one night and then a 12 a few weeks later. So, and I've only been going over there for like the past, we'll just say 8 to 9 weeks since I got kicked out of the pirate place that I would normally take you to. Okay. It's the only 2 times that I've ever had an EMF reading over there. So we'll see what you can capture.
Okay.
But yeah, Doc Lad will follow us from, just so you know, from here moving forward. We will always be near somewhere of raise the motion for doctor. So just remember when you guys are hearing things and you're like, oh, I just heard the word doctor, even though we're not near the alley. Well, guess what? He's probably following us to the next spot because we're going near his house, you know, or wherever else we're going to be going near. So yeah, cameras, go ahead and hit those stop buttons. And normally this alley is.
Can't keep up with him.
Shut up. I didn't see anything.
VHCTLC?
What?
VHCTLC. It was very like timid voice, dark timid.
Spell out anything, it's not initials or anything.
They came against me.
Keep them coming.
Ooh, 15.3. Right here. Well, it's gone right there.
Well, let's try to debunk it.
So you got stop and stop it.
So you're not moving yet. You gotta get to moving more than that.
Not everyone is dead.
We are at a cemetery.
Well, obviously. Went to the emergency room.
Any other numbers? Did that come back again, Jane?
Nope. Just 15.3.
The timer looked at me.
9:15.
I got wouldn't untie me. It's just like really not.
I just keep getting like UX. You got Ray.
assessment, right? That's what we call it. No, go ahead and stop your camera.
Yeah, for like a minute.
Okay, so this isn't gonna be like Jurassic Park. You guys are staying with time. Like, you keep hearing we're tied, I'm tied. Henry, I got two young ladies on the bench tonight. You want to start? We'll talk about whatever you want. I'm going to start asking about your job and occupation like I always do.
Blues.
Okay, you want to try something else? Do you want to pick your own
Yes,
topic?
sir.
Pick your own topic. Family members, work, friends?
Truth is. Specific.
Specific. Be specific.
No matter where. Doing work anywhere.
Okay. So your work. What did you do for a living? You can show us. That's Elizabeth wearing the blue box tonight.
The dark is straight ahead.
You could show us what you did for a living.
Before arc.
Henry. Dr. Ladd, if you're here, you can use your code word. We all know what it is.
Base. Nobody. Designer. Emotional. I tried.
We're looking to verify that you're here.
Momentarily.
Henry,
You and free.
are you not happy that I'm here? That's a yes no question. And silence. Wow. Henry, if you'd like
Turning on.
if you'd like us to leave and go home, you know your code word is home.
Grieve. All together.
Henry, we're not getting a whole lot. We're looking to verify that you're here. These folks come with respect. This is how they learn about you.
Outside.
What sound are we hearing from the church right now, Henry?
Came over illegally.
Wow, that was serious.
Yeah, cash.
Henry, what was the sound we just heard out of the church? That word
To the
has
start.
actually was spelled out for us this time on the device.
Repeat that.
What sound did we get out of the church?
No.
Next question.
And down the world.
No enemies. Just galaxies.
Could never.
Henry,
Seance.
let's use the blue box. Why don't you give us an image? Show us what you did for a living.
I can. Pitch black.
Henry, show us the
Never.
image. Show us the topic you'd like to talk about tonight.
Black shirt.
Black she said twice. Henry,
Prevent the injury.
can you give us an image of what you did for a living? Specifically, your last page.
One. Blocking the rest.
Who is? Who's blocking?
Time changes. He's to the left.
live today. Free.
Henry.
Save. Never.
Dr. Ladd, are you here?
It's true.
Dr. Ladd. Listening.
I
Dr.
gave.
No images at all?
My hardest. Went through the door.
Henry.
I fell. I could never.
Start up tonight.
Red.
What was red?
I went.
What was red?
I'm sorry. Get outside.
Jessica, no words.
I owned a business.
Okay. What type of business?
Celebrate tonight.
Henry. Can you
Work hard enough.
let's get at least one or two images from you.
7.
Dr. Ladd, can you give us the rest of your birthday?
Down tonight.
Dr. Ladd, that question
Again?
remains open.
Encourage.
Henry, back to you. I'm looking for an image. So
Want to know how.
I don't want Elizabeth to fall asleep in there.
Messages. No way. The government.
Henry, you're being very stubborn tonight. It's not appreciated.
I feel wrong.
How?
The wind.
I'm still waiting for you to tell
Michael?
me what was red. Michael shows up here a
The
lot.
tree?
St. Michael's Church across the street. Henry, we're running out of
Mine's
time.
Mike.
Quickly. We're down to about 2 minutes.
Thumbs up. This is how we do this.
Yeah, you being stubborn is not how we should be doing this.
Come to fight.
I don't come here.
14. Free deal.
Henry. One image and we'll call it
Farms.
quits. One,
Religious.
one little image. Got something? See, looking around.
Incorporated.